This is the monthly meeting of the Town of Eastham Search Committee. Today is Wednesday, June 18th. It is 11 a.m. This meeting will be video recorded and broadcast over local channel 8 and through the town website at eastham-ma.gov. This has to be announced at each meeting. So, before we get started, just a couple of quick announcements. And if these can be noted in the minutes, Gergana, please, I guess you're doing them through.
Gergana is the clerk? Is that
I
what-
don't, from what I recall, that what we said, I am not insist, like, I don't need to do them, but that's what I have in my notes.
All right, we need
Ellen wants to
somebody,
do it?
well,
I'm happy to give this up.
You are the clerk starting fiscal year 2026, beginning in July.
So
We
that's
just
next
need
meeting.
somebody to do the notes today. Do you want to do them, or Ellen, are you gonna do them?
I'll do them,
Okay, and then
okay?
Gergana, you will begin, so the announcements are this. Starting July 1st, our new chairperson is Maren. Our new clerk will be Gergana Aleksieva. Sue and I met, and there will be some reporting that I will continue, and we'll figure it out as we go along. The select board met. The new chairperson of the select board is Jerry Sarasol. The new clerk is Bob Bruns. I sent an email to the select board this morning, thanking them for all of their work, their generosity of time. And I asked them if the liaisons to the boards and the committees were changing along with their configuration. I very much doubt it did,
Okay,
but I need in writing from them so that we can, I told them that we've had a number of applicants and that we need to know who to be in touch with to set up interviews.
good.
So, also, it is the clerk's responsibility to get the select board calendar to the search committee so that we can effectively try to set up these interviews without making them come to town hall 5 times in 1 week. My recommendation has always been immediately prior to a select board meeting. I didn't always have that calendar. I don't know why. I'm hoping that Bob Bruns will get it to us. So, those are the announcements around the select board.
Okay.
So let's move to the minutes. And Gergana, thank you for doing the minutes, and Ellen, thank you for doing the minutes. What we need is someone to coordinate all of this together. Would you mind, Ellen, and just finalizing these minutes once we approve them?
What do you want to do?
Well, we have to get the minutes to, the
Right.
minutes need to,
Right,
after
just
they're
pick one.
approved, they need to
So we
be.
have to pick one, we just pick one.
Okay, so why don't we just work from the ones that Gergana did?
Well, I wasn't absent, so there's a correction right there.
Okay. All right,
And I just noticed it's Joanne Verlinden, not Joanne Linden.
Right.
okay, under what number?
Others attending
attending.
for Joanne Verlinden is her name.
Oh,
So the first name is right on this one and the last name is right on the other one.
okay. So Joanne Verlinden, and, the, special town meeting will be on June 23rd,
Right.
as we knew. And I think we need to also put in the note in these minutes that we have the town election, the wastewater town election, special town election on the 24th.
Mm.
And that's
So
for,
why should we put that on in here?
because we talked about it.
Okay.
Did we talk about being out there with it?
Yes, and we're gonna talk about it again. Okay, is there anything else on the minutes?
So neither Ellen nor Gergana had the special election mentioned in their minutes.
Right. I
So
don't have
was
it
it
in my
mentioned?
notes.
All
You
right, so
give
let's,
them
you know what,
minutes,
let's,
but not
let's just let it go.
24
Yeah,
election.
Let it go, let it go,
I mean, yeah, because if
let it go.
the both of them.
We're gonna talk
didn't
about
get
it today anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. May I have a motion to approve the minutes as corrected?
So we're working over Gergana's,
Mhm,
correct,
mhm,
with the corrections made,
mhm.
and you want a motion to approve? I'll
Oui.
motion to approve.
All right,
I'll second.
any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Gergana? Perfect.
I, yep.
Okay, so that's unanimous. Okay. Dee made the motion, Sue seconded it, and that's
I
that.
am in, I just noticed on Ellen's, she's got item 6 about the brochure, which doesn't show up on, or maybe it does.
Did you have a, like, mention in the brochure?
Is it in here?
It's on the back.
Okay.
And Swoop says just.
No, actually, it's not.
I don't see it.
All right,
Yeah, so if we can just move
we can just move that.
number
This is-
6
yeah.
into the one that was.
So make it
Okay,
like
so
number
Gergana
9.
doesn't have mine. Cause I just came with a paper copy, but I could send it to you. If she's gonna do the
The
correction.
number 6 from
From Ellen,
Ellen will be number 9 on Gergana's.
or
Would that
number,
work?
or numbers, part of number 7 or.
Or part of number 7?
And just to get
Oh, all right.
clarity, who's updating the minutes?
Right. Well, if they're Gergana's, I think she should update them. I think that makes sense, right?
Whatever makes sense to you. Yes, I'll do that.
Okay,
I'm not gonna send you mine right now, okay? Email them to you.
okay, thank you. All right, I pulled together,
That's Sue. You've
done this
before, have you?
I pulled together. And Gergana, I'm sorry, I thought you were gonna be here, but you can access this from your computer, I think. This is the expiration report. And I just wanna make sure that we're all getting on the same page with these, expiration reports, and I'm saying this, it is a public meeting, I'm letting you, Gergana, know because you do rec, correct?
I do, and I do have all the updates from the rec, yes.
I'm sorry, not rec, visitor service board?
Yes, I am.
Okay, well, I'm letting you know, and I have not let them know yet. I am choosing to decline another term.
Okay. Not
So-
thank you.
Yeah, so there'll be, as we go down this list.
So say that again, you're refusing to decline?
No, I'm declining.
Oh.
I am declining another term.
To know that I'm kicking her off.
No, I'm declining another term.
Okay,
They are,
that makes.
they want me to stay and I can't manage it. It's just too many committees.
Okay.
And there's a lot of change that's gonna be happening related to. I don't wanna go into it in a public meeting,
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
but,
I hear you.
so,
I have a procedural question.
yeah.
So on committees, when people do agree to stay on for another 3-year term, is there any process that either we need to do or the committee chair needs to do to like officially notify the select board and a vote, or
No,
does it just happen?
no, what happens is, and I'll use myself as an example, if you turn over and look at the visitor service
Yeah.
board, the very last one. I received an email from the town clerk's office asking me if I would like another term.
Okay.
I sat on it and sat on it. And I finally let her know that no, but please don't make this public yet. All of these will be handled in July, at the first meeting in July, at the select board meeting. We don't have to do anything.
Okay.
These are unless someone is being intentionally not given another term by a committee, and then we are supposed to be notified so that there's
Can I
a.
ask a question?
Sure.
If you were to say, oh yeah, I'll re-up for another term. Aren't you meant to go to the clerk and swear in again? I believe that was, I had to do that.
You did?
Yeah, I think you
I
have to
will
do that.
find out. I've heard
I know I did.
two different things.
Okay,
And I have another term as on this committee
yeah,
because I'm moderator appointed, so that just,
right.
Scott just let them know. I will find out. I will go upstairs and
Yeah,
find out.
yeah, interesting to know.
Let me
if I-
just make a note to myself.
Yeah. If you,
New, reappointments need to be sworn in.
do they need to, yeah, good, that would be good to know.
Yeah.
And then,
And what role we as a committee have, if any, other than filling the vacancies that are created? Is there anything else we need to?
I can tell you, we don't need to
Okay.
do, we don't.
Okay.
And,
After,
and let me
Yeah.
let me just break in here, sorry, Sue, for one thing. I will shoot an email to the group saying yay or nay, but it brings me also to a note for all of you. We cannot confer about anything due to open meeting guidelines, even the minutes. We need to send our minutes privately to our minute corrections to the clerk privately. We can't confer about minutes. I know it makes things awkward, but that's what we need to do. So my assignment is do reappointments need to be re-sworn in?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm sorry, Sue, go ahead.
no, my question was gonna be, so after the July select board meeting, we should be able to.
This is
look
gonna
at-
be updated.
We'll have an updated
You and
list,
I are gonna sit down and probably.
and then we'll know
Right,
what
we'll-
vacancies we actually have.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and I think at this point, because there's 12 days left, we'll just let things sort of play out.
Mm-hmm,
But it leads me as well into my other thing that I brought with me. Now I need to find it because I have no brain. I'm getting used to new eyes. I had both my eyes.
Oh, you got your eyes done, wow, you're making a one.
Now that I can see myself in the mirror, I'm getting ready for plastic surgery.
I have a
Oh.
friend who had her eyes done and wound up having her house repainted because when she saw how dingy the walls were. Huh, I thought they looked great and suddenly they're like, they were really nice.
Going into the
That's fun.
Pilates studio, telling Petra that my shirt that I wear is green.
Yeah.
And she kept looking at me and saying, Kate, it's blue. And I'd say, Petra, it's green. Now, of course, your eyes cloud, but they
Yeah.
also in yellow, the yellow.
Oh, yeah, that's all right.
So I walked in after having my first eye done, and I walked in and I looked at her, I said, my shirt is blue. She just looked at me and she said, I know. So, okay, we got a little situation here and we need to bring this up publicly.
Okay,
Mr. Brian Early has applied to the Zoning Board of Appeals. It is a regulatory committee. He is already on a regulatory committee, and as you all know, you can only serve on one. So I'm letting all of you know that in my last act as chairperson, I will be reaching out to Mr. Early and letting him know that he's got to pick. And if he wants to resign from the other one, then he can apply, but you know, whatever. We had Sue and I had an interesting conversation about how we get back to people that apply for committees when they've applied to more than one, and I think we've talked about this before. So people apply and they have three choices. And it looks like they're in alphabetical order when they come to us, which is a shame.
Yeah.
Steve Rogers applied for Finance, Planning Board, and Strategic Planning. The only one that has a vacancy right now is Strategic Planning, so I'm gonna let. Who has Strategic Planning? I do. I'll let myself get in touch with them.
Good.
Okay, Anna Friedman applied to the Rec Commission, and I think you're on it, right?
Yep.
I knew you jumped all over that puppy. Okay, good.
Of course.
Gary Lynn applied for 1651 Forest, and I assume you're on that?
I am.
Ooh.
That's it.
Ruby. Hilda Maroli applied to the Board of Health, and she's on.
Yay, Hilda.
Yay, Hilda.
It's rare.
Billy Ann Starks applied to the Human Services
Right.
Advisory
We're
Committee.
working on, Kate Berg was rather busy in June, so she didn't want to do an interview. We don't meet until November, so there's no rush. And I've been in contact with Billy and she's fine with that.
Great, perfect. Justin Kennington applied to the Affordable Housing Trust. That is Merrill's, and as I recall, this was back in March. I think there might have been something going on
Yeah.
with that. We'll wait until next month.
Yeah.
So that's for you next month. And then James Brian Colantropio, Strategic Planning, and I believe he was placed, so we're all set with it. I
So
just
we
wanted to
have
make sure, I went back through.
5 pending apps or 4 pending apps?
We have one. Well, Steve Rogers applied to 3, and we'll have to wait and see if anybody declines the Finance Committee or the Planning Board.
Mary said they all agreed to stay on,
I know.
so finances.
She asked us in a public meeting. She.
Oh, no,
she put us
because I
in the
asked-
Spotlight.
I asked her, I said, Mary, what's going on with your committee? And she goes, I'll let you know. And she let me know.
She asked all of us,
Are you saying, yeah.
right, in the meeting.
Yeah.
Are you staying or are you leaving? And, like, no pressure. Okay, so we've got Brian, Steve, Anna. So we do have, depending upon if Justin,
I wonder if this all came about because of the town.
Wait a minute, let me just get this, 4 pending,
5.
5 pending, okay.
Let me just make sure. Brian,
Yeah, I won't do the
Stephen,
details, we'll just have-
Anna,
And we did 3 placements?
Gary, Billy.
This is kind of stuff I think we can
Okay.
keep track of.
Yes, I agree. 1, 2, 3, 5.
Okay. 5 pending.
Pending.
Okay.
So next month, we'll all know. And of course, I'm waiting for the select board to get
Right.
back to me. I'm
Right,
crossing my fingers and
Okay,
toes that
that's right.
nothing has changed with the liaisons for that. So, and this is the current list, and the only change is for us is D, you have 6, Sue has 4. Which one would you like to give up?
Oh, we talked about this, oh, you good with recycling?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
You're
so-
fine. Okay, so, we'll switch recycling to
so,
Sue,
Sue. Sounds like it.
okay, and then I will update all of the stuff. Anything else on placements? Okay, under old business, we have the special town election. And I'd like to get a sense from people here. Is anybody willing to go and volunteer and hand out searchlights? I'm more than happy to do it. Anybody else
Oh, for the meeting on, Monday?
for town meeting on Monday?
on that,
Yeah, I could go.
I have company,
Okay, that's
I
fine.
can't think.
Gergana, do you want to join us or are you?
Oh, they
I
are sitting-
will confirm by the end of the week. I'll message you. Probably I'll
Okay.
come.
If it's just me and Dee, it should be fine. You're gonna be with the grandbaby, right?
Yes, my apologies, I'm becoming the scofflaw. I scheduled a trip to Chicago next week without that.
Okay, I'd rather be that.
Family.
Family stuff and new grandma.
And I'm gonna miss ERPTA, which
If you wanna
was
do.
a Saturday.
Yeah.
That reminds me, thank you for bringing that up. Does anybody, is that Saturday?
Was Saturday.
The Eastham Part-Time Resident Taxpayers Association
Mhm.
is meeting. And it would be lovely to have a representative from the search committee.
When are
at
they
their
meeting? When are they
Saturday,
meeting?
I'm gonna tell you the time.
I think at the Elks usually.
This Saturday?
No, a week from.
Yeah, it's the week after the 20.
Which day is it?
And it is Saturday, June 28th at the Elks at 9 AM.
Would someone like to go and do a pitch?
Booked.
Okay. If we're not there, I think it's okay. I can ask Jackie and
We are.
Rich. I don't think,
Yeah, and I can
We'll
ask
see.
about
I could,
doing an email blast to the members through them,
okay.
so I will follow up with.
Okay, if you'll do an email blast to
Like,
the members, that would be great.
The president.
Tom McNamara.
Yeah.
Okay. Is not at the whole finance committee. All right. So I think, Gergana, if you want to join us at the special meeting, great. If you've got other stuff going on, that's fine too.
Yeah, I won't be able to join this one.
Okay, so it'll be me and Dee at town meeting.
At the high school.
Yeah,
Okay.
in
What
the
time do you want me
auditorium.
to come over?
The meeting is, what time is the meeting?
It's 5:30.
All right, so why don't we get there at 4:30?
4:30. Okay.
Okay. And I've got some brochures. I've got a handful of brochures that are left, so we can hand those out. Which leads me into the brochure. Do we want to do a reprint of, I think we could do a small reprint of the brochure we've got right now. And Gergana, I know you were gonna do a little work on it, and I'd like to have that in time for Windmill weekend. Are you good
Yeah.
with that?
I'm good with that. Yes, I just
Okay.
need to know. I know I have to send it to Kayla, but as you know, Kate will wait for their final approval of the design and colors and all this special stuff. So I just will redesign it, but then it's up to the town to.
Well, it's just Kayla's
like
right
the
over
back.
here behind
I
this
understand.
wall.
Yes, I understand, but you know that I'm working on some stuff, and then it's their final decision, like with the banner.
Okay, so
Right.
why don't you do, and what's the status of the banner?
I don't know. I sent everything that I had to send.
Okay, all right, so what I'll do in my other final act is I'll get with Kayla. I'm not gonna do it today, but I'll get with Kayla about the banner and about the brochure. Maybe she's gonna wanna have her 2 cents in that.
Mhm.
Okay,
And on the brochure, I don't know if it mucks it up to change anything, but the Tea Time Development Committee should come out just because it's not a.
do you,
Oh.
what's the sense of the group? It's not, it's still listed on the website.
Okay, then let's leave
It's
it.
not.
Yeah, it's just inactive. Okay.
It's inactive right now, but it could be reactivated any second now. It's been like that for
They,
years.
they send a pipe down there, it's,
It's like the tariffs. It's on one day and off the next day. Okay,
And the Board of Assessors is not a regulatory board. I noticed that on some.
they're not, no, they
Yeah.
don't have a budget.
Okay.
But it's the budgets that make it a regulatory. As you meet with your chair people about vacancies, please make sure they understand what our function is. We've still got people going rogue, chair people going rogue and appointing people without
Okay.
going through us, so. Okay. Windmill weekend.
Wow.
I will
You're
be
ready,
there
huh?
from dawn to dusk since I haven't shown up anywhere else.
I did hear from her, Gergana, thank you. I emailed her. Gergana is part of it, so she can't wear two hats with this, so she very kindly sent me everything. So we're all set for Windmill weekend.
okay.
And we will have a tent, we will have a table, we will have a tablecloth, we will have searchlights. If Ellen chooses to do it, we'll have candy.
That's right. Still have that bag of buds.
Yeah, the expiration date. We don't want to poison people, although I think those are probably
They're probably good for
the millennia. They'll survive like cockroaches through a nuclear holocaust. Okay, so is everybody excited, on board? We'll figure out, we'll send out a grid so people can sign up, or we'll just come and go, it'll be
Yeah.
fine.
How is it determined where the placement is on the green?
That is up to the person who is coordinating, and I have asked for special placement. Gergana, that's what I meant to ask you. Based on your knowledge of how that is set up, where do you think I should request we be placed?
So every year it's almost the same structure. So we have vendors and we have non-profits like us consider as a non-profit. So we don't make money there. So all of the non-profits have, if you remember from last year, everything that it's the closest section from Depot Road, then Route 6 fence, and then across Super Red. That's where the nonprofits are.
Right,
One year we had a central tent for all the town committees, but there were only you and Sheldon then. So we decided
Mhm.
it's a waste of space to have that
Right.
big tent. So everything
Mhm.
will be placed in that area.
In the
So
perimeter, the perimeter is what you're talking about?
yes, all of them are like on the perimeter.
Okay,
But
so,
I know a lot of traction. It's the corner that it's Town Hall and Super Red, and usually where the chambers of commerce are placed as well.
yep,
So that's a
Okay.
good spot across the Super 8 is because there is an entrance there.
What about the entrance near the beer garden and the stage?
This is always taken that space from the uh their vendor spots there, and
Okay, it's
it's
vendors.
it's
Vendors,
Okay,
um
alright.
right.
I
Well, we
just
were
forgot
pretty
what
close
was
last year to the.
I think we
beer
can
tent,
ask for what we
we
had last
yeah.
year. We were close
Yeah,
enough
we
and at
can
least
get-
we had a tree to hide
but
under.
we
It
can get
was
even
pretty hot.
closer. That's good.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, that
People
gives
are-
me a good idea. Thanks,
Socialize.
Gergana, yeah, it's cool, all right, that was my question about Windmill Weekend. Do we have anything else that we need to talk about? I just, as a reminder, once the minutes are approved, Gergana, starting in July, when the minutes are approved, at our meeting, let's get them to town hall so that they can be posted on the website. I noticed that there were some missing and I'll get with Merrill to see what the status is on that.
Mhm.
Is there anything else?
I have two
Okay,
things.
yeah,
So the first is whenever there's a change, it's always a good opportunity to just look and see if there's anything we want to do differently, stop doing, add doing. Doesn't mean there is, but at the next meeting, I would like to make that an agenda item of just, it's just an opportunity to look at it. And a good place to, at least for me, for mine was to look at the draft committee handbook, which I will send around to everybody because it kind of has everything there. So to go through that, and I know Gergana would love us to get that content final so she can get it off of her plate. So we'll do that. And then the other thing is just an official thanks to Kate. I think that we all either want to thank her or curse her. I think she put all of us on the committee, maybe some did. But I know she put
no,
me.
Ellen was here.
Okay. But just, I know these jobs are thankless, they take up a lot of time, you have a lot on your plate. I'm thanking you for what you're gonna do to help me in this new role, so just if in the minutes, if we could.
Oh, you
reflect.
didn't know that I'm moving to the Caribbean and,
Oh, happy to meet there.
I won't be here anymore. Kidding.
Smart move. Yes, thank you,
Thank you.
Kate.
You're so
Yes.
entirely
Thank you
welcome.
very much, Kate.
You're all very, very welcome. I remember when I started, my first person was this lady here, Gergana. Actually,
Thank
it was,
you,
Kate. No, it was me.
oh, I think it was you.
Well,
It was
probably
me,
Dee.
Dee, and
Yeah,
then
but
it was
you know-
Gergana, and I met with Gergana at the Sparrow. And we
You met
talked
me?
over, oh, that must have been my meeting, my launch.
Yeah, because I said to you, where do you wanna meet? You said you wanna meet for coffee, and I said, sure, we wanna go to the Sparrow. You said, yes, it's my favorite place.
That's where I met Joanne Valentes when we were talking about it.
All right.
Yeah.
Is July 16th our next meeting?
Yes,
11 o'clock.
yes, and we will be meeting on the third Wednesday now of each month at 11 a.m. How's your water aerobics going?
Good, I actually start at the pond in Wellfleet on Monday. So that'll be a new experience for me.
The other. Who has tea time? Oh,
I
you
do.
do, Sue,
Yeah.
okay. So. If anybody has a committee that they're feeling worn out by, I think we can always swap around, but I am not in favor of changing committees
Right.
anywhere.
Yeah,
I think we get used
We
to,
went through that one year and it didn't go over well.
no, and it
No,
was,
it's-
it was
No,
presented to us as a,
Right.
we will do this, and it was like,
No,
No, not, no, we're not.
No.
Um,
This works well.
Yeah, I think we've got a pretty good committee. I think we're functioning well and we're doing everything we're supposed to do. So,
Doing our job.
yep. So, Before we, just a question, and maybe people want to think about it, the handbook was something that was put together, by the prior chairperson who wanted it. Think about whether or not the handbook was something, I've checked with other committees and they don't have a handbook. You know, even finance doesn't have a handbook. And Sue saw what I got shouldered with for just one fiscal year. So I think it's great to welcome people to this committee and have an orientation, but you know, Gergana's working full-time. She's graciously given us so much. And I'm wondering if we should just maybe,
the thing that I thought was most important in that handbook was the steps to take.
That's, I think.
Page 9 was
Right.
the original
Yeah.
handbook page, I'll never forget it, it was my first interview and I called Gail. And she said, Dee, go to page 9, we'll go through it together.
right,
And then once I did
the
it,
flow chart,
yes,
Yeah.
Gergana,
that was all I needed.
We're really process oriented, this committee, so I think having some sort of step-by-step guide is.
so
That-
Gergana,
that
you,
flow chart.
Gergana had taken the flow chart that Gail did and made it into a really fun
Right,
thing.
we saw that.
Maybe we could just do that instead, and that would be our internal document.
Yeah.
And that way we don't have to go through the town
And
and go through the design, we can just, you know, do
Yeah,
it.
I don't think we need a design and whatever.
And the
Right.
handbook,
So I'll send you everything. Everything is ready, so we can easily remove stuff and add stuff. But I'll
Right.
send it for you to review it again.
Yeah, and I think, you know, I'm maintaining the list of liaisons, I'm maintaining the list of select board liaisons, so if we have the liaisons and we have the flow chart of the steps that we take, then, I mean, the rest of it, we should be conferring in here publicly at a meeting and not conferring amongst ourselves
Right.
anyway.
no, I
So-
agree. That's,
Okay,
All right, so at the next meeting, we'll look at the handbook and see if there's anything else that we wanna.
what that we need
Yeah.
to retain with
And
the
we'll
flow
put it
chart.
to bed.
I mean, cause I think, you know, one of the things that, the reason why I was willing to do it was I didn't feel like people were being welcomed properly.
Yeah,
And I think welcoming people and thanking them for their time and their talent is really important.
Mhm,
And I think we do need to have that hospitality.
right.
I mean, I would love it if, you know, all of us went out and had a, you know, a party once a year, but
we talk about that, hasn't
Yeah.
gotten there, haven't gotten any
I think we got.
volunteer appreciation, yeah. The six-
Flashlights and
but I mean, we could all go to local break and drink ourselves, you all could drink yourself silly. And then I could drive you all to your different houses and dump you off, so,
Get the funk bus.
That's great.
yeah,
Sounds like a good
there
plan.
we go.
Alright,
All right,
alright,
thank you.
Anybody
Do
motion
we have a
to
motion
adjourn?
to adjourn?
I'll motion to adjourn.
second it?
There we go.
All in favor?
Aye,
We are
Aye.
adjourned at 11:38.
11:38.
All right.